Hi, this is the Honest Poppy, and this is the Tough Pilates Stability Ball workout number 2. My first videos seem to be very popular, so I decided to do another one. Obviously, a lot of you have these balls at home and enjoy using them in your workouts. So I have introduced a few new exercises as well as some of the old ones from the previous video. It is going to be equally as tough, so prepare yourself, but I hope you enjoy it. Let's get started. Okay, so let's start this warm up with a little bit of breathing and mobilizing the spine. You're going to be on your knees, just round yourself over the ball, and you're going to breathe in as you push yourself over the ball, touch your hands down, reaching the legs, and then breathe out as you roll yourself back onto your knees, pushing away on the inhale and coming back down. You're expanding into your rib cage as you curl yourself over the ball for 3, and coming back, 2, and coming back, and 1, and coming back down onto your knees. Now we're going to sit up on the ball. So sitting on just off the top of the ball towards the front, we're going to do a little bit of a roll down here as we go into arm circles and continue with our breathing. So you're going to breathe in as you push your legs straight, extend yourself over the ball, bringing your arms overhead. As you circle round, you're going to come up into that flex position again. So you're lengthening the legs, extending your spine, and then circling around, bending your knees, and coming around into flexion again. Breathing in as you go back, and out as you come back through into flexion, and in, and out. 2 more, and out, and last one, and coming around, and back into that flexion position again. Then walking yourself back up onto the ball again. As I said, you're sitting just off the top of the ball so that your legs are having to do a little bit of work here. You're going to get a little bit of pelvic mobility here, just rounding the spine and then reaching it back into extension. So you're leading from your pelvis here as you tuck in and then stretch it back, going into flexion and extension. 2 more, and then we're going to bring it into a bit of a cat stretch movement. Tuck it in and bring it back. Let's bring the arms in now in the upper spine, rounding into flexion, coming back into extension, rounding into flexion and back into extension. Breathing out as you flex and in as you extend for 4, and bring it back, 3, and bring it back, 2, and bring it back, and last 1, and bring it back. Now going into lateral flexion. Okay, you're going to stay in that position on your ball, have one hand reaching down, the other one's going to come over, and you're going to roll the ball to the side slightly as you come over, and then come back up again to center. Other side, going over and coming back up, breathing out and in, and last one, out and in. Coming back to center, let's go into some spinal rotation, and we're rotating around from the lower rib cage area. So reach your arms forward. You're going to breathe in as you pull your elbow back, rotating, out as you lengthen your arm away, in as you bend, and out as you come back to center, in as you come around the other way, out as you lengthen, in as you bend, out as you come back to center. Focusing on using the obliques here to rotate your spine in the mid spine area, keeping the pelvis and the lower back relatively still, and coming back. 2 more, coming around, lengthen away, bend, and back to center. Last one, coming around, lengthen away, bend, and come back to center again. Again, staying where you are on the ball, I'm just moving around so you can see a little bit easier. We're going to roll down the ball now. So you're going to bring yourself, as you walk your feet away, you can bring yourself down the ball with a flexed spine so that the ball is kind of midway through your back. Your bottom has come off the ball, the top of your pelvis is resting on the ball, and your shoulder blades are quite free. You're going to take your hands behind your head and you're going to extend yourself back over the ball, but make sure that you're keeping that control through the abs here. You're going to do a head nod to help support your neck, and then we're going to come all the way through into an ab prep position, coming back into extension through the thoracic spine, and then coming all the way through into flexion, pulling that rib cage down towards your tummy. So allow it to open up with eccentric control, and then pull through, shortening those abs, bringing the rib cage down, lengthening open, and pull through into flexion again, ab prep. And we're going to do 3 more of these, in and out, and in and out, And last one, coming back into that extension, and then pull it through into flexion, into ab prep. Find your neutral again, and then roll yourself back up so you're sitting on the ball again. We're going to do some leg lifts, and we're going to be working into a bit of stability here, so working into your balance. What I'd like you to do is bring your hands up behind your head. If this is too wobbly, you can keep them down on the ball, but you're going to aim to have that stability where you're going to lift your leg up and bring it down. Then switch to the other side. I want you switching left and right, because that means your body needs to keep restabilizing. It doesn't get into a pattern and get nice and comfortable if there's any compensation anywhere. So we're lifting up and coming down. Lifting up and coming down, alternating left and right and down. And we're going to go for 4 and down, 3 and down, 2 and down, and 1. We're going to bring in a little bit of hamstring work here. So you're going to lift your leg and you're going to pull yourself in with the leg that's still on the mat, and then push yourself away. It's the pull that we're working on here, not the push. So I want you to really focus on pulling through the hamstring as you bring yourself forward, and then release as you come back. So it's a pull. I'm not looking at the camera too much here, otherwise I'm going to lose my balance. Pull and release. 2 more. Pull and release. Really work that hamstring, and pull and release. Bring that leg down, switch to the other side, lift it up and pull and release. You might find that one side is a lot more or less stable than the other. Either way, there's a lot of asymmetry here. Pull and release. That's very normal. Pull and release. 2 more. Pull and release. Last one. Pull and release. And then bring that leg down, and you can relax your arms at your side. And that is our warm-up complete. Let's get into our workout. We're going to do a little bit of hip release here down on the mat. So your feet are going to be on the ball. You're just off the top of the ball. Your legs are in parallel and they're in neutral for now. As we do in the mat workout, you're going to take your knees out to the side, push the ball away, roll them in and bring them back. Taking them away and bringing them back. You're breathing out as you roll away, in as you bring it back. 2 more in this direction, and then we're going to circle them the other way, taking them out and bringing them back. Let's change direction, going straight. Roll them out, pull it in and back to center. Take it away, roll out and pull it in, back to center for 3 and 2 and last 1, and bring it back and back to center. We're going to go straight into the 100 here. Just wanted to warm up the hips a little bit before we get started. For your 100, you're going to be rolling the ball away for your exhale and bringing it back for the inhale. But I want you to keep your feet quite light on the ball so that you're having to work to hold the legs there and challenging the abdominals. So here we go. We're going to breathe in with a head nod. Breathe out as you come up into that ab prep start position. You're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out as you reach. 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 20 in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 30 in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 40 in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 50 in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 60 in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 70 in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 80 in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 90 in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 2, 3, 4, 100. Bring that ball back, bring your shoulders down, and release that imprint if you were using that before. We're going to sit up and move into some shoulder work here. I'm going to face the other way so that you can see what my shoulder blades are doing. We're going to be working into the scapula, so the shoulder blade here, working into the stabilizers. So protraction, retraction, elevation and depression, moving those shoulder blades around, but with the load of the weight of the ball. Okay, so I'd like you to sit up in a neutral spine and pelvis, however you feel comfortable. And we're going to start with protraction and retraction. So you're going to be holding the ball just ahead of you, so about this position. You can have your elbows slightly bent just to help you to stabilize. And we're going to be pushing that ball away and then pulling it back towards. Push it away and pulling it back. And we're going to breathe in as we push away, out as we pull it back for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we're going to lift the ball up as we go into elevation and depression. It's not above my head, but in terms of the height, it is in line with about my forehead here. We're going to lift it up and then pull those shoulder blades down. Lift them up and pull them down. Up and down. 4 more. 4 and down. 3 and down. 2 and down. And 1 and bring it down. And then you can place your ball down and have a quick stretch if you need to. Our next exercise is going to be a version of breaststroke prep. So we're working into extension in the upper thoracic spine. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring yourself over the ball, stretch the legs out, so you're having to help stabilize yourself. And to start with, we're going to have a slightly easier version. So we're going to have the arms on the sides of the ball. You're going to let yourself round around the ball. Now, depending on how strong you are and how much range you have, you might want to start all the way back here where you can just do a smaller movement. Or if you feel quite strong in your thoracic spine, you can come right over the ball so that you're having to do a lot more lifting. So to start with, we're going to breathe in and then out as we extend through that thoracic spine. In as we come back down. Be careful not to arch into your lower back here. Coming through the thoracic spine. If you need to give the ball a bit of a squeeze, you can do that. And then coming back down. And we're going to go for 4 and back down. Remember to keep your neck with your body. 3 and come back down. 2 and come back down. And 1 and come back down. Now you can either stay there or you can make it a little bit harder by placing your hands on your forehead. Now we're going to be lifting through and coming back down. This is going to make that lever heavier for you with the arms up there. So it's going to be a little bit more challenging on those muscles in your back extensors. And coming down for 4 and coming down, keeping that lower back stable. 3 and coming down. 2 and coming down, and last 1 and bring it down, and then you can relax, bending your knees, have a quick stretch before we go into swimming prep. Into swimming prep now, you're going to stay in that same position. You're going to stretch the legs away. You're going to have your hands just lightly touching on the mat. So I don't really want you to take your weight through your arms here. I want you having most of your weight going through the middle part of your body so that you're having to stabilize as much as possible using your core and then reaching the arm and leg. So for swimming prep, it's reaching your opposite arm and leg away and then bringing them back down. Other side, reach and back down. Keeping the back as stable as possible as you just work through hip extensors and working into the shoulders there. Stabilizing the whole way through, coming down and down. Keeping that back as neutral as possible for 4 and down. 3 and down, reaching away. 2 and down, and 1 and down, and bend your knees and have a quick stretch. Getting into a little bit of ab work here, we're going to do the roll up, and you're going to be holding the ball in your hands the whole way through. So keeping the arms extended, you're going to take the ball overhead. Your rib cage is flat to start with and your legs are lengthened away. You're going to breathe in as you reach the ball up to the ceiling with a head nod, and then breathe out as you roll yourself all the way up, reaching that ball forward and flexing all the way as far as you can. In as you start to come back, dropping those shoulder blades, and out as you roll down, still reaching that ball all the way through, and then taking it over onto the diagonal again. In as you reach up with a head nod, out as you roll up, coming all the way up and over, stretch into it. In as you start to come back, and out as you roll down, keeping that control all the way through. 3 more of these. In as you reach up, head nod, out as you roll up, all the way over, stretching into it. In as you start to come back, keep those shoulders stabilized, and out as you roll all the way back down to your start position. 2 more, in and out, all the way over, and in and out as you come down. You can give that ball a little bit of a squeeze as you come through, keep those shoulders switched on. In as you reach up for the final one, out as you roll up and all the way through, reach it forward. And then in as you start to roll back, and out as you roll yourself back down and back to your start position. Whew, okay, let's move into shoulder bridge next. Now, shoulder bridge with the stability ball is quite a challenge. There are 6 different shoulder bridge exercises that we do. If you've seen my previous video, you will have done these already. They are quite tough and quite challenging, not only stability-wise, but just in terms of the hamstring and all these muscles that work around your hip joint. There's a lot going on there. So we're going to run through all 6 of them. We're going to start with the legs in neutral. It goes without saying that when you are up in your bridge, make sure that your pelvis stays there and it stays stable, okay? That's why the ball is gonna really challenge this, because it's going to wanna move around. You need to hang on to that ball. Your start position is with your feet just off the top of the ball, and we're gonna start with just moving forwards and backwards with that neutral position of the legs. So you're gonna breathe in to prepare, out as you come up, pushing the ball away and dorsiflexing your feet. So pull your feet towards you so that they're flat. Then as you pull the ball back, you're going to point your toes, grabbing onto the ball with your feet, okay? Pushing away, pull your feet towards you and grab on with your feet. That's called plantar flexion and that's called dorsiflexion. Pull it with your feet and push away. 2 more, pull and push. Last one, pull and push, and then bring it in and bring yourself down to the mat. Now we're gonna repeat that same exercise that we just did, except the legs are going to be rotated outwards. So your knees are going to turn out and your feet, the soles of your feet are going to be facing each other. So you're on the side of your foot. But besides that, everything else stays the same. So still that dorsiflexion, pulling the feet towards you and then pointing the toes when you bring them back, but they're just in that turned out position. Okay, here we go. This is going to work into the glutes. Okay, breathing in to prepare and out as you come up, push that ball away. In as you bring it towards you, push it away and bring it in for 4 and bring it in, 3 and bring it in, 2, don't forget the ankles, 1 and bring it in and come down to the mat. Excellent, back into neutral again. This is a nice little breather in the middle before we head into the final 3. So you're going to come up, this time you're going to leave your legs long, but you're just going to move through the ankles, staying in neutral. You're going to breathe in to prepare, out as you push away, firstly pushing the heels in. Now stay there as you point your toes and then pull your feet towards you. Point and pull. For 6, pull. 5, everything else is on here. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then bring that ball back and come back down to the mat. Now, out of all of them, that is by far the easiest. Okay, these next 2 get a little bit more difficult because your ankle position is now going to stay consistent all the way through. Okay, so we're gonna start with the easier of the 2. You're gonna have your heels and you're gonna keep yourself in that dorsiflexion of the ankle the whole way through. So the heels stay digging in and the feet stay pulled towards you as you move the ball forwards and backwards. Here we go, in to prepare and out as you come up, pushing the ball away, keep the ankles there and bring it back, keeping the ankles there. And we're gonna push and pull for 4, pull, 3, pull, 2, pull, and 1, pull it in and come down to the mat. Okay, now we're gonna reverse the ankle position and this is gonna challenge you all the way through the back of your leg from your heel to your bottom. Right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna be plantar flex. So the feet are gonna be pushing down into the ball all the way through. So when the ball is closest to you, you should really be pushing through the balls of your feet. And then as you come away, yes, your heels will be on the ball, but you're still pushing those toes away the whole way through. Okay, here we go, in to prepare and out as you come up, push the ball away and pull it in, push away and pull it in for 4, pull it in, 3, pull it in, keep those ankles pointing, pull it in and 1, pull it in and come down to the mat. Gotta say, that definitely gets easier the more you do it, but it's not easy at all. Okay, final one of the 6. You're doing really well. We've done 5 out of 6 here. So we're going to go back into that external rotation, except we're going to change the foot position now. So now the sole of your foot is on the ball. It's hugging onto the ball, and we are going to be moving through that usual ankle range where we dorsiflex, pull it in with the feet, but now you're going to be externally rotated and squashing into the ball. Okay, so holding onto it with your legs. Here we go, in to prepare and out as you come up, push it away, dig your heels in, keep that external rotation and then pull it in with your feet. Push it away with your heels, pull it in and push it away. For 4 and push, 3 and push, 2 and push, and 1 and push. Bring it in and come down to the mat. And that is your shoulder bridge series on the stability ball. Well done. This exercise is called short spine, and it's going to replicate the mat work rollover exercise, except it's a little bit harder. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that you have a strong imprint so that you're stabilizing your lower back. You're going to bring your legs up into tabletop and then place your ball between your feet. Okay, you want to have it on the inner border of your feet. Your feet are not turned in towards the ball so that you're having to work into your adductors to control all of this movement. Okay, you're going to breathe in to prepare. Out as you reach the legs onto the diagonal. Breathe in as you hinge your hips so that you take the ball towards the ceiling, and then breathe out as you take the ball over so that you're in that rollover position. Make sure you haven't come onto your neck here, so you're staying with your weight on your shoulders. Your neck should feel quite free. You're going to breathe in as you pull the ball in, bending your knees, and then breathe out as you roll down, slow and controlled, through the spine first, and then opening up the hip flexors so that your legs are on the diagonal, and then finish by pulling in to tabletop. So once again, it's breathing out as you reach onto the diagonal, in as you hinge to the ceiling, and out as you take the ball over. In as you pull in with the hamstrings, and then out as you roll down, slow and controlled, reaching the legs at the end and pulling in to tabletop at the end. We're going to do 2 more of these. In to prepare. Out as you reach the legs, in as you hinge, and out as you go over. In as you pull the ball in, and out as you roll down, lengthening the legs at the end, and then pulling into tabletop. Final one, reach those legs, hinge, and coming over. Then pulling in with the knees, and rolling down using the abs, eccentric control on the hip flexors, and then coming back into that tabletop position. And then you can place that ball down and release your imprint. Very well done. Okay, so we've done swimming prep already over the ball, but for these next 2 exercises, full swimming and breaststroke, we're gonna need to reposition so that you can have your feet on a wall just to help you stabilize. So you're gonna be in this position to start with, going to have the ball against you, then roll yourself over the ball and place your feet on the wall. You don't have to have a skirting, but it is nice to grip onto with your toes. So you're gonna be a little bit off the ground here, and then you're gonna let yourself come over the ball before we start with our swimming exercise. Okay, so you're gonna breathe in to prepare, and out as you come into that slight extension of the spine, reaching the arms forward. You're gonna hold yourself there as you start to swim your arms. You're gonna breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, the final set, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, reach away on your inhale, and come down on your exhale. We're gonna do 1 more set, so just stay where you are for a second, have a little stretch into your spine, and breathe in to prepare, out as you come up into that extension again. Keep your neck following the curve of your spine here, so breathe in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, last set, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, reach away on your inhale and come down on your exhale. You can bend your knees for a little stretch into the lower back. Sometimes that can get a little bit tight with that exercise, and then we're going to move on to breaststroke. Staying in the same position. Now, if you remember, your mat work breaststroke goes from that hovering position all the way up into extension as you circle your arms around, and then diving into that hover again as you reach your arms forward. So we're going to be doing exactly that, except balanced over the ball. So push your legs straight again so that you come over the ball into that flexed position. Remember, you are stabilizing your lower back with your abs the whole way through, even though you are going into extension. Okay, and keep your neck following the curve of your spine. Don't look forward with these. All right, you're gonna breathe in to prepare, and then out as you come up into your hover position again. You're in that slight extension of the spine, reaching the arms forward. Okay, breathing in as you extend that little bit higher, rotating your arms around, and out as you dive into that neutral again. Extending up as you circle around, and out, and in, and out. Breathing in, and out. And we're focusing on extending the thoracic spine here whilst moving through the shoulders, stabilizing the lower back, and dive. We're gonna go for 2 more. In and out. Last one, in and out. And then bring your arms down to the ball. Allow yourself to flex over the ball, bend your knees, and come down for another stretch into flexion. These next 2 exercises are extremely challenging on the shoulders and the core stability. So if you have any back issues or you are concerned about your lower back, please just be cautious with these ones because they do require a lot of core stability. Basically, we're going to be doing a plank on the ball and then a push-up on the ball. So we're going to start with an elbow plank on the ball, resting on your elbows, coming up into your full plank. I would like you to try and keep your hands apart, so keep them in line with your elbows. Don't bring them together, you're going to want to do that. And you need to come directly over your elbows. Make sure that your abs are working hard here to stabilize your lower back. Now you're either going to stay here and you can just shift forwards and backwards with the ankles, okay, if you feel like you can do that. Otherwise, what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold this position and we're gonna pull the elbows back, release, pull, release. For 4, release, 3, release, 2, release, 1, release, and then bring your knees down. And if you need to have a little stretch through the lower back, then curl yourself over your ball. Following that, it's gonna get a little bit more tricky because we're gonna go into a push-up now, which means we're gonna lengthen that lever. We're gonna go onto the hands on the ball. Once again, you do need a lot of core strength here. If you're feeling strain in your back, please just stop, otherwise you're gonna end up hurting your back. This is very challenging on the arms and the shoulders as well. And it is going to replicate a pec push-up. So if you like pec push-ups, this is going to be good for you. If you're a tricep push-up kind of person, this may be quite tricky for you. So you're going to have the hands a little bit wider on the ball, okay, so that you can squeeze into it. And this is where the pecs are really going to come in, and the biceps, of course. Okay, so we're going to go into a plank, and we're going to be doing that Pilates push-up where we go down for 3, push. So it's an in, push. And we're going to do 4 sets. Good luck. Here we go. So, this is a tough one for me. We're gonna come up into a plank, okay? And we're gonna go down, 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 push, down, 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 push. 2 more, down, 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 push. Last one, down, 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 push, and then bring it in and bring your knees down. Woo, there's always a little bit of shaking going on there. I hope you managed that, and if you did, very well done. Some more shoulder exercises here. We're gonna go into long box first. So you are gonna get onto your ball and walk yourself forward. Now, depending on how strong your shoulders are and how stable your abs are, you are gonna either have the ball underneath your thighs like this, or if you're feeling a bit stronger, you can bring it right down to underneath your knees or underneath your shins even. Okay, keeping that spine in neutral. We're just gonna be working through the shoulders here. You're gonna start directly over your arms, pushing yourself back and bringing yourself forward. Be careful not to sink into your lower back when you come back with this exercise. We want to keep that neutral spine, keeping it nice and stable. For 3, just working through the shoulder joints, keeping the shoulder blades stable. 2 and 1. We're going to add a little bit more to it now. You're going to push back, bend your elbows, come forward and straighten. Careful not to sink into your lower back. Push back, bend, forward, and straighten. Back, bend, forward, and straighten. Last one, back, bend, forward, and straighten. Now let's reverse. Bend, push back, straightening the elbows, and then hinge forward. Again, watch that lower back. Bend, push back, hinge forward. Bend, push back, hinge forward. 2 more. Bend, push back, and hinge forward. Last one, bend, push back, hinge forward, and then you can walk yourself backwards to safely get off your ball, unless you've already jumped off the front, but this is the recommended method. Our next exercise is down stretch. So you're gonna get back onto the ball in the same way you did previously, walking yourself on, but this time I need you to tuck your knees in so that you are over your arms in a bit of a child's pose position. To start with, you're gonna breathe in as you open up the hips slightly and lengthen the spine into neutral. Then as you breathe out, you're gonna push off away from your arms, lengthening the legs and working into a bit of extension here. So extension in the back, extension in the legs. And then we're just going to rock forward and back again, really dipping down. So you're working through the abs to stabilize, but you are going into extension in the spine. We're going to do one more, pushing back, and then you're going to tuck in, bringing the knees in back to your start position. So here we go again, breathing in, lengthen into neutral. Breathe out as you lengthen back, pushing into the arms, into extension, and shifting forward. Extend and forward. One more. Extend and forward. And then on this last one, extend and pull it in, into flexion again, and then bring yourself off the ball, either rolling yourself backwards, or you can just climb off if you are stable enough. This is a version of the mermaid, but it's over the ball. So you're going to have the ball next to you. We're going to be working into the lateral aspect of the obliques here. So into lateral flexion, bending sideways. Have the ball against your hip, and you're going to just lie yourself over the ball. Now, if your ball is not the correct size or it's not inflated enough, this might not work for you. So just make sure that your ball is firm and it is the right size for your body. So you're leaning against it with your rib cage. You've opened up your arm to bring it over. You're going to bring your top leg to the front of your mat, so you're on your toes, and the bottom leg is going to go in line with it, but at the back of your mat. And then what you're going to do is you're going to straighten your legs to push yourself over the ball so that you're in a lateral flexion position. Then what I'd like you to do is just bring that arm around towards the front, and it's going to assist you as you come up into lateral flexion. So at the moment, I'm resting my whole rib cage on the ball, and my spine is curved this way. Okay, my neck is following that curve. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring myself up, bending the other way. And I'm thinking about pulling my rib cage off the ball and then bringing it back down again. So you're reaching down the side of your thigh with this arm, and you're giving yourself a little bit of support with this arm. Pecs are going to be working here, but mostly it's the obliques working here to pull you off of the ball and then allow you to come back down again. We're going to go for 3 more. So coming up, pull, really work into the obliques here, and coming back down, and 2, pulling up, shortening those obliques, and coming down, and last one, pulling up and coming down, and then bend your knees to release yourself back down to the mat, and we'll switch over to the other side. Okay, so once again, I'm over the ball. My top leg is in front, my other leg is behind. I'm gonna bring that arm round and have myself in that nice lateral flexion position, pulling up, using the obliques, pulling my rib cage away from the ball, and then placing it back down again. We're gonna go for 5, and coming back down. Really focus on the obliques. Squeeze here, pulling your rib cage down towards your hip bone, and down again. And 4, and down. And 3, reach that arm as well, and down. And 2, and bring it down. And last one, pull, 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 and bring it down, and then bend your knees and release yourself off the ball. These next 2 exercises are abdominal exercises. Personally, I don't find them too challenging in terms of a strength aspect, but there is a lot of coordination and breathing involved. So please try and follow my cues. They do take a bit of practice to get used to, but once you get the hang of them, they're quite nice because there's a lot of dissociation involved in terms of flexion of the spine, extension, neutral, and then the hips coming into it as well. So your start position for back row is going to be with your arms reaching out in front, and you're sitting just off the top of your ball once again with the knees bent. You're going to breathe in to prepare, and then out as you roll yourself down the ball and bring the arms into the chest. Then you're going to breathe in as you reach the arms out, they're internally rotated. Breathe out as you come over, you're pushing your legs straight, rowing the arms back and coming over your legs with a rounded spine. Breathe in as you reach your arms forward, out as you lengthen them away, and then in as you roll yourself back up to your start position, neutral spine, and bending those knees again. Okay, so breathing out as you roll back, bringing the arms in as you reach them out to the sides, out as you come over, reaching the arms back, in as you circle forward, out as you reach them away, and in as you roll back to your start position. One more time, out as you roll down, in, reaching out to the side, out as you come over, in as you circle round, out as you lengthen away, and in as you bring yourself up to neutral. Now imagine if you're doing that for the first time, you're probably going to rewind this a few times to complete them over and over again to get the hang of them. So I'm not going to do too many reps. We're going to move on to flat back next, which again is very similar, but there are quite a lot of differences in terms of what you're doing with your spine. So this is where it gets complicated with the coordination. So for flat back, you're going to start in neutral, reaching the arms forward. You're going to breathe in as you bend your elbows and lean your body back, but you're in a neutral spine. So you're just leaning back, stabilizing with the abs here. Then you're going to breathe in as you come up tall, reaching the arms up to the ceiling. Breathe out as you hinge forward through the hips. So keeping that neutral spine, keep reaching the arms and you've straightened your legs. Okay, then out as you drop your spine into flexion, circling your arms back behind you. Bring them around to the front and then roll yourself back up to neutral, bending your knees and reaching the arms forward so you're in that start position again. Okay, so let's go through that one more time. In as you lean back, bending the elbows. Out as you come up tall, reach the arms. In as you hinge forward, keeping that neutral spine. Out as you drop your spine into a rounded spine, circling the arms back. In as you circle them forward, and out as you roll yourself up to your start position. In, hinging back, keeping that neutral. Out as you come up tall, reach the arms up. In as you hinge forward. Out as you drop the spine, circling your arms back. In as you circle them forward. And then out as you roll yourself back up to your neutral start position. And once again, I'm not going to do too many reps of that. Rewind this back and repeat. As I said, you do need to do it quite a few times to get the hang of it, but once it clicks, it's actually a really nice coordination exercise where you're having to dissociate different parts of your body. You're having to go from flexion, neutral, holding neutral, letting neutral go, all sorts of things, and it's really good for the mind to work through this one. So I hope you enjoyed that. There are two parts to this next exercise. You're going to start with yourself in a plank with your shins on the ball. The aim of this exercise is to pull your pelvis up towards the ceiling using the abs and the legs. So to start with, the slightly easier version is where you're going to bend your knees as you pull up and then bring yourself back down into that plank. So bending the knees as you pull up and bring yourself down to that plank. Pulling in and release. You really want to focus on the abs when you're doing this so that they're working to pull you up towards the ceiling and bring you down. We're going to do one more, pulling up and bring you down. This next one we're going to do with the legs straight. So you're going to make yourself into a mountain. You're going to pull up and come back into that plank. Pull up to the ceiling, legs straight and into a plank. Two more. Pull and bring it down. This is really tough. And pull and bring it down. And then you can climb off your ball however you feel safe to do so. Well done for completing the second Tough Pilates stability ball workout. Thank you so much for all the support on my first video. I see that you all enjoyed it so much, so I decided to do another one. I hope you enjoyed this one too, and if you have any questions or comments, please put them below. Don't forget to subscribe to The Honest Poppy for more videos like this one. See you soon.